Okay, so this class is computer networks, right? And this class is paired because computer networks is paired with two codes. One is SecR2242 and SecR2941. And if you notice in e-learning, I only do one, I maintain only one page because you guys are the same students. And students are only taking one. For example, you're not taking the lab because you already passed it, but you are only taking the SecR2242, let me know. Or the other way around, let me know as well. And if you're here by any chance and do not belong to section 1 or computer networks class, please leave. Thank you. So this is the course information for SecR2242. So I'll be calling it ComNet, Computer Network, ComNet, and ComNet Lab. Okay. So for ComNet, these are the course learning outcomes that you will be able or should be able to do. Okay. Describe the network IP address solution and apply it in an organizational network. Analyze and differentiate the functions and usage of routing protocols and network operations. Describe and implement at least three network services for medium-sized network and solve issues or problems regarding routers and switches. So basically, what you're going to be doing this semester is, of course, you are going to do a lot of subnetting. Okay, the knowledge of subnetting must be, on your fingertips. So if your subnetting is not strong, you should relook, retry, and do all the exercises. Okay. And here, these are the program learning outcomes that ComNet will fit into. Okay, and these are the methods of assessments. We have tests, 2 tests. We have quiz, a lot of quizzes. We have online exam, that would be the CN02 online final exam. And we have final exam course, and this is assignment. Assignment is a project, okay? And assignment here will cover the TW and also TH. This is the course information for ComNet Lab. It's basically the same thing as ComNet, except for the fact that here you are configuring and troubleshooting. You're configuring and you are troubleshooting. So this is your, you can say this is your niche for computer network lab. And if you look at the teaching and learning methods and also the assessment methods, everything is lab. You have lab for assessment. You have also skill-based exam, which is actually using packet tracer. And this is individual. Labs are also individual. And then you have what you call a challenge lab. Challenge lab. Okay. If you have any questions at any point, you can just stop me and ask. And please ask using your mic because I don't really look at the chat until after I am done. So when we talk about program learning outcomes, these are the program learning outcomes that are covered in both ComNet and ComNet Lab. So what is the expectation to the student when it comes to these different PLOs? So for PLO2, it is application, and the student should be or should show the ability to exhibit technical competencies. So if you just write, but you don't understand what you're writing because you are copying, for example, you have not shown technical competency. Okay. PLO3 is problem solving, so the student should show the ability to creatively solve real-world computer network and security problems. And in our case here, the focus would be on computer network problems. TH is thinking skills, so the students should show the ability to be able to think critically and creatively to solve problems. And TW is teamworking and leadership, where the students should show that they can lead and work effectively in the team. These come very, very importantly in your project. Okay, a lot of students, they become free riders or sleeping partners in the group. They just sit there, and have their name on the report submission and they get marks. But because they did not do the work, they don't have the knowledge or the skills or the ability, and usually these students will fail. Or if they pass at the very end of the spectrum, like you open the door, you'll fail, like D plus, or very, very end. So please try not to be that student. Okay. So when we talk about cognitive levels, if you notice in the ComNet and also ComNet Lab, CI just now CLOs, we have C4, C4, C4. These are the cognitive levels. The cognitive levels, we follow what we call a Bloom taxonomy. So this is Bloom taxonomy. At the bottom here is the very basic, which is, remember, this is C1, cognitive level 1. Basically, what it means is that if I tell you 1 plus 1 is 2, tomorrow I ask you, what is 1 plus 1? You remember 1 plus 1 is 2. That is that level. Level 2 is understanding. You understand the fact about what is going on. And then level 3 is, now that you have understood, you can apply it. So even if we change the question or change the methods or approach towards a configuration, you can actually apply it because you understand the concept. Analyze here means you can break down the information into components or parts and then actually use that to evaluate or create. Now, while it says C4 over here, certain experts will climb up to evaluate, okay? And this is especially true in projects where I want you to evaluate your own work. We'll talk about project in a little bit. In soft skills, THTW over here, these are the two soft skills that is going to be applied and assessed in this class, okay? So you see here we have TW2 and TH4. What it means is that for TH, we go up to the 4th level of that soft skill. So first level, ability to define and analyze complex, overlapping, ill-defined problems and make well-supported judgment. That is level 1. So for example, if you submit your project and you say, we did that because it's good, that's not really well-supported judgment, is it? So you will not be achieving TH1. TH2 is able to expand on and discuss ideas. TH3 is the ability to look for alternative ideas and creative solutions. TH4 is the ability to think outside the box until here. Okay. Leadership and team working skills, we follow 2. 1 is ability to establish rapport, interact and work effectively with others to accomplish common objectives. 2 here means, level 2 here means the ability to lead and influence team members to complete given tasks. Now, I take these very seriously. So if you are the sleeping partner or the ones that the backbenchers that don't contribute, or if you do contribute, you do it last minute and you do it not well, making the other team members have to carry your load, I will push down your marks or not give you marks at all. Okay, I do not want any free riders here, because free riders here mean you are going to do worse when you go to internet work next semester. So this is the weekly schedule that we are going to go through. Here are the topics that is going to be covered. Okay, basic device configuration, IP addressing and subnetting. Here we will focus on IP version 4. I will introduce a little bit about IP version 6, but mostly IP version 6 will be covered here in week 11. Why? Is because I don't want, some of you are not very strong in subnetting, IP version 4 subnetting. If I throw in IP version 6, you might get confused. So we're going to focus on your IP version 4 subnetting, update your skill, and then we can go into and venture into IP version 6. Although some of your labs would have a version for IP version 6, which you can follow. So if you look here, this blue colored highlights over here, these would be the contents of test 1 and skill test 1 and also the challenge lab. Okay. Here, dynamic routing and switching concept and switch configuration, this would be in test 2 and also in skill test 2 and also in challenge lab 2. And here, the pink colored one would be in the final exam, which is 40%, would be in the skill test 3 exam, which is the final exam for ComNet Lab, will be in the challenge lab 3, and also the CCNA final exam. Actually, CCNA final exam covers everything. Okay, CCNA final exam covers everything. The only thing is that we do it here. Okay. Now, for tests, we are going to do test 1 in week 5. What it means by test 1 in week 5, that means test 1 is done in week 5 morning, 10:30. Skill test 1 is done on week 5 afternoon at 2:30. So your whole Saturday of week 5 would be for ComNet. Right now, week 5, sorry, it's not week 5 and week 9, it's week 6 and week 10. I've updated the e-learning, I didn't update here. So look at e-learning, okay, that would have the correct week. So put in those into your calendar in your phone, and please don't have another assessment on that day, morning or afternoon, because we are using the whole day. Okay. Now, why we are doing it on the weekend? Because there is a lot of you. We have like 5 sections of ComNet. 1. Secondly, why we don't do it on a Friday? Because most of us, all of us are online, and most of us are away, not in Malaysia, in different time zones. So we would like to not sort of like encroach into your, say, Friday prayers or prayer time. That's why we do it on Saturday. Okay. So morning will be test, afternoon will be skill test. So how is grading done in both this ComNet and ComNet Lab? In ComNet, test 1 will be 12%, test 2 will be 13%. Your project, which is counted as assignments here, will be 18%. Quiz, there will be multiple quizzes, is 10%. Quiz here will include the chapter exams on NetAcad, okay? And also, if I give you quizzes in class. Online exam, this is the online final exam for CCNE2, and also the final exam. These are the time allocated for the test. We might give you a little bit more, but this is the time. So for ComNet Lab, we have skill-based exam 1, which is 10%, skill-based exam 2, which is 20%, skill-based exam 3, or finals over here, is 35%. Lab is 20%, and lab is individual work. Challenge lab is 15%. Challenge lab is group work. Now, before we move on, I would like to state that yes, there will be a lot of labs. Every semester of ComNet, students will always leave a note saying too much work, too much work, too much work. Unfortunately for you, these are things that you do have to do. You cannot not do it, because what you want is the skill. Now, during the exam, the skill-based exam, you cannot look at your notes. You have to configure from memory. So if you don't know what you are doing and you think, never mind, it's online, the lecturer is not going to see me. I can do whatever I want. I can open books. You can, not everybody is ethical. But let me advise you that to look into books would take time, and you don't have a lot of time. Okay, and student will say, I don't have enough time to complete the exam. Yes, you don't have enough time because you were wasting time opening books and Googling things to get information. And then you type it wrong and you got a problem in configuration, and because you didn't prepare yourself, you don't know how to troubleshoot. Okay, we are giving you ample time to do it. So please, please, please pay attention. Okay. Yes, there is a lot of labs, but the labs are done to help you to get your skills. If one day you want to sit for the professional CCNA exam, right? In the professional CCNA exam, you cannot use your calculator. You cannot use your phone. You cannot bring anything, not even a pen or a paper when you go for the test. You go in, they take a picture of you, they seat you wherever they want, and then you take the exam. You don't get a piece of paper, you don't get anything. Okay, and the exam, very much like your test in NetCom previously, you cannot go back. You can only go forward. Okay, and they have configuration exams inside that as well. And if you don't finish on time, and the passing rate, if I'm not mistaken, is 79 or 80 to get the professional CCNA accreditation if you want. Okay, so please, in this class, I don't want you to use calculators, because calculating is easy. Don't need to use calculators. But if you are at home or wherever it is, and you say, Ms. Nazina, I can see if I use calculators, by all means, it's up to you. But I would suggest you be an ethical student. Okay, if you start being rotten, you are not going to be a good egg. Okay, so far so good. Questions?
Yes, doctor. So far, so good.
Thank you. Okay, moving on. The do's and don'ts in my class. Now, some of you have been in class with me before, so you understand this. Most of you have not. Okay, so do come early and settle in. Excuse me, settle in before I come in. In physical classes, I hate it when students come in later than I am, because every time I started talking, the door will open and close, and it will disturb the other students in class. Okay, in online classes, I have silenced the entry exit tone. I also don't like that. And in my class, if you notice, there is no QR code. I don't like QR code because students tend to lie. They take the QR code, they pass it to their friend, and then their friend is not even in class, but they somehow is in attendance. So my attendance will be on e-learning and is open only for 35 minutes of the class. So our class is 11 to 11:35. After that, you cannot go and sign in anymore, and you are considered absent. Why do I do that? I want to make sure that you are, one, actually in class, and two, in class early, that you actually understand what we are talking about in class. There's no point coming in like 5 minutes before class ends and then, oh, I don't understand anything. Okay? So hook up with dictionary.coms for words you don't understand. One of the students, I'm not sure whether this section or the other section, in the entry survey, when I asked, what is your level of English? They wrote 5. 5 is really in the middle. Okay, so you need to upgrade your English. I tend to talk a little bit fast. I know that. That's fast is my normal. Okay, I can go faster, but fast is my normal. If at one point or any point you sort of like don't get what I'm saying or you don't understand, please ask me. In physical class, I can look at your faces and say, ah, there you go, that kid don't understand. We have that superpowers as lecturers. But online, you don't open your camera, you don't say anything. How am I supposed to know that you don't understand? Do hand in assignments and lab sheets, whatever it is, on time. I don't like people who submit late. If you submit late, I will minus mark. In fact, if you submit for late for a certain time, for example, I have a student who submitted their lab 30 days late, they get 0. Okay, because it shows you didn't want to do it and you're waiting for somebody else to finish, you take their work and you submit to me. Now, talking about that, there are labs that out there that you can copy on. Up to you if you want to copy. There are students who copy and submit. I'm okay with that because you get caught when you do skill-based exam. Okay, you don't know what is going on. So please don't do. Okay, don't do cheating in my class. Do work hard and work smart. Don't cram everything at the end. Oh, tomorrow or 2 days, in 2 days there will be the test. Today I'm cramming. Miss, I haven't slept for like 12 hours. I didn't sleep last night because I was studying. I didn't tell you that, test is like tomorrow test. I'm not doing that. I told you in the first day of the class. Please plan and then, work smart. Do read the Net Acad notes, and there are books out there, and also everything else apart from the slides. The slides alone are not enough. Okay? Some students say, oh, the questions are not in the slide. Well, the slide is basic things of explanation. I will explain about things right now. What I'm talking about is not in the slide. So if you are basing your exam on just what is written on the slide, you, my friends, my dears, are going to be in trouble. Do prepare before lectures and labs. You know what I'm going to teach, right? Have a look, read up, assess your understanding at crucial points. Say after every chapter, say after every class, assess your understanding. Do I understand? What is it that I don't understand? If you don't understand something, the first thing you need to do is look it up, ask your friends, or ask me. I have this pet peeve, if you will, of students asking me things that are already written. I would have a student message me tomorrow or in a week or so asking, when is the test? It's written, in e-learning, this guy, for example, and they don't look. So please don't do. Okay, I am not your reader or your personal assistant. I am your lecturer. Do participate in class and all feedback given. I give a lot of feedbacks. For example, entry survey. Entry survey, you have to do. Okay, I've seen that a lot of the students in this class haven't done it yet. And on Thursday, I'll give you a quiz. And that quiz is only open if you finish your entry survey. If your entry survey is not completed, means you didn't submit, you cannot take that quiz. Okay. Attempt all the labs and exercises. Please do that. Okay. Don't sort of like, I have students do this before. Let's say there are 6 labs, right? And then they divide the 6 labs between 3 people. You do the first 2, I'll do the second 2, and then the other person do the last 2. And then they combined it, and then they submit. Works, but labs are in progression. It goes between introduction, simple stuff, towards more complex stuff, towards more complex. So the guy who's doing the complex stuff, not necessarily understanding the basics. The guy who's only doing the basics do not know what is going on after that. So do all the things, do all the labs, okay? Labs I have divided into fun and do. Do is compulsory. You have to do it, you have to submit it. Fun is I would hope you do outside of class. Okay, so there's do and fun. And then there's homework. We'll go into that later. So don't be late. Don't keep quiet if you have a question. I have had students before that the day before the exam, they came to see me and say, I don't understand. And then I say, what is it that you don't understand? He said everything. He was thinking that I'm going to sit there and go through all the chapters to help him prepare for the exam. Not going to happen. Okay, you guys are adults. You should prepare. You should plan. Don't be late in handing in your work. Okay, so I said either I deduct marks or you get 0. Don't memorize from the slides or book. Understand. If you understand, no matter how the question is turned, you know how to answer that. Don't be a silent partner relying on your friends on labs and assignments. Don't cheat. I put it in a different color and bold because I hate cheaters. Cheaters are not going to do well in life. Okay, if you cheat, I'll give you 0. I'm not going to ask, why did you cheat? Did you have a problem? That I'm not going to do that. If you're going to go to the dark side, go to the dark side. I'll give you marks for those who are in the dark side. Okay? Don't be unprepared for evaluations and assessments. Plan ahead. You know when it's going to happen. Don't suddenly say, oh my God, I forgot, I didn't study. How I know this is because when I give surveys about people to reflect on how they did on the test, a lot of students were like, I wish I had prepared more. After the fact, not going to help. The funny thing is, test 1, they said, I wish I had prepared more. And then come test 2, still, same people, I wish I had prepared more. You didn't learn anything? Or were you writing just for the sake of writing? That's not reflection. Okay? Don't put things to the last minute. This is exceptionally important for chapter online exams, online chapter exams in NetAcad. Okay? With Cisco NetAcad, you will get a certificate. But if you complete everything and you have enough marks to complete and get a certificate, you will get a certificate. If you don't do the chapter exams, okay, because for whatever reasons, you don't get your certificate. Now, I am the kind of person that has come to a point where if you don't get a certificate, I'm okay with it. I'm not going to give you a certificate for free, especially for those who come at the end of the semester asking, can I do any assignment to help me with my marks? The answer is no. During the semester is when you do the work, not after the semester wanting me to give you extra marks. I don't do that because there are students who follow instructions, who give their time, do their work. These students, good students, they deserve it. You who don't want to do things, who wants to lay back or catch a movie because there's a new movie, well, who cares about studying? Yeah, nope, I'm not going to do it. Also, when I give you the dates for the chapter exams, if you don't complete it within that date, you don't complete it within that date. Okay, so please take responsibility on your learning. I will take the responsibility on the teaching. You have to take the responsibility on the learning. I cannot learn for you. Okay? Extras. Absences must be accompanied with a letter or medical certificate, and I take attendance seriously. Okay? In my class, if you don't have 80%, you do not sit for the final exam. Why? Because at the end of every semester, we have to do what we call a course assessment report, STAR, course assessment report. In that report, we tell how the class went, how many got A, how many got B, and so on and so forth, and how much of the CLOs, the course learning outcome, and the PLOs, the program learning outcome, that we achieved in that class. And then, if there are students who didn't do well, C minus, D plus, or fail, I have to write down why. Now, I'm thinking this kid didn't come to class. This kid didn't work. This kid is doing whatever, but I am now having to do homework to write a report for this person. If you don't come to class, 80% is not enough. You are not sitting for the final. If you don't sit for the final, even though your carry marks is enough to get you a C, you don't pass. Final exam is a must. Okay? And if you are absent, please give me a letter of medical certificate. And before you do that, I will call the clinic. Okay? Because students have been doing things like getting a medical certificate, adjusting stuff, and then so I have called clinic and then asked them. I'm not going to ask for your medical history. I'm asking whether or not this is true. Okay? So there's no re-exam of anything. Oh, I cannot come for the test, then 0. Oh, I forgot there is a test, 0. Oh, I didn't wake up for the test, 0. I don't do re-exam. Okay, you guys are tired. You say you have a lot of work. I also have a lot of work. So we are going to respect and appreciate each other's time. Visit e-learning regularly because I will put all the information and updates there. One thing that I really, really, really don't like in my class, except apart from teaching, is people who say, oh, I don't know about that. Oh, I didn't know. Why didn't you submit? Oh, I didn't know. No, I didn't know is the most hateful reason for anything in my book. Okay, so please visit that. Classes are early for some because you are, like 5 hours behind from Malaysia. So it is early for you and it is online. So it is a struggle. You might have to wake up earlier or I'm not sure if your time is like forward than us, so you are later or something like that. But please, if you have a class, our class is at 8 a.m. on Thursday, 8 a.m. So I think in Bangladesh it's about 3 a.m. It's 5 hours behind, right? If you are from Bangladesh, that is. So sleep earlier the night before. These are some sacrifices that we have to make during this time. Yeah, hopefully next semester it will be fully online and we don't have this problem. One thing you have to understand, you are tired. I understand you're tired. We are tired too. It's not like when we are teaching you, we don't do anything else. Okay? You have to set your priorities right. Studies always get the first one. Okay? Now, plan your work. You have what? 18 credits? 18 credits is roughly about 6 or 7 subjects, right? Let's say 6. 6 subjects means you have assignments, you have projects, quizzes, you have tests. So you do have to plan what to do. You cannot say, oh, you give me too much work. Are you expecting or are students expecting that if you take 6 subjects, you only have 6 assignments a semester? That is ridiculous, right? That is ridiculous. Doesn't make sense. So you know how things are. Plan your work, please. Okay, have time for you to revise. Look at the student learning time. Actually, for a 2-credit subject like our ComNet, you have to put aside 80 hours per semester. 80 hours per semester. Classes are 28 hours per semester, and the remaining time is for assessment and your preparation for classes and assignments and whatnot. So it's 80 hours per semester. So for ComNet, it's 80 hours per semester. For ComNet Lab, it's 80 hours per semester. If your subject is a 3-credit subject, it is 120 hours per semester. 42 hours for lectures, and then the remaining for your preparation of class, doing your assignment, doing your test, whatnot, and everything. So you do have enough time. Plan your time. Okay. So while exams are online, copy pasting will not give you marks. Okay. So if we find that you copy paste, unfortunately for you guys who take subjects where I am one of the lecturers, we check each and everything that you submit. If we find that you copy pasted from somewhere and change a few words to make it sort of like different, I'll just give you 0. Okay, because that is plagiarism. Lucky for you who did that. No, not you. Lucky for your seniors who did that before, that I just gave them 0 and I did not report them for plagiarism. Because if I report them for plagiarism, they might either get 0 for every subject that semester or even get kicked out of UTM. So please do not plagiarize in my class. Labs are individual. You need to do it. You need to understand it. There's no calculators because we want to prepare you for the professional CCNA exam certification. They don't allow calculators. And I know you will have a lot of work to do, but you are a student after all. Exercises are done to help you understand and master content. I will try to limit the exercise, but one of the students who did the entry survey said, please, I need more exercises. Hello, I will give you more exercises. Now, sometimes I give you things like exercise or homework that you don't have to submit, but I hope you do. Okay. And sometimes students, when I give them like tutorials, we don't have tutorials here, we have exercise. They want the answer. I don't give answers because usually when students are given answers, they don't do the work, they just look at the answers. No point in giving you the exercise then. Okay, project. Now project is a teamwork. Okay, project is teamwork. So find a good team. You have had experience from network communication on good team. If your team were good, most probably you're going to stick with that, but totally up to you. Or would you like me to assign you to groups? Anybody in the chat who wants me to assign you for groups? Say
yes. No, we choose our team.
exactly. My thought as well. Okay, so choose a good one. Work out a meeting schedule to discuss planning and progress whatsoever. Now remember, sometimes your group is mixed. You have local people or even a foreign student, but they are in Malaysia. So they have students in Malaysian time and students in other time zone. So find a time that you can work together. Again, this is teamwork. Meeting minutes are to be submitted. Must be. Sometimes what I find funny in students is that, let's say task 1, you only have 1 meeting for the task. How can you have 1 meeting to complete everything? At the very least, you should have 2 meetings. One is where you start and say, okay, you are going to do this part, you are going to do this part, and this is what we're going to do. And then the next meeting would be, yes, you have done your part, let's look at that, you have done your part, and then, critically review the work before you submit. At the very least 2, but usually students just do 1. But up to you. Do not be an unproductive partner. Again, unproductive, silent, don't do your work. If team members are not functioning, let me know, we can take action. The most basic action is I will break the team or kick out the unproductive member. The ousted member are the members kicked out, will do project individually. Now someone would say, but this is group work. If you ask me to do individually, how am I going to do it? Well, you shouldn't have been an unproductive partner. It is very unethical of me to take one unproductive student and put it inside another group to give those members a headache. That's not fair. So be a productive member. If your team decides this person is not doing a work whatsoever, or they are doing bad work that we have to correct it after, I will call that group for a meeting. After that, we'll make a decision. Previously in network communication, I have this sort of like problems in the team. I called for the meeting, none of the members came, and I broke them up, and then they have to do their project individually. And doing project individually is not a walk in the park. Okay, think about that. There is a rubric for every task that should be your guide to a good project. Now, please look at the rubric and the guide we have in the documentation to follow that. If it says put in the previous task, we just slap things in there and then we're done, copy paste, done. have some degree of goodness. Last semester in one of my classes, actually, I taught 3 sections last semester of network communication. In all the 3 sections, there's only 3 groups who got report 30 over 30. Their report was amazing. I was so happy. I even sort of like talked to the other lecturers. I'm so happy today. Look at this report. Oh my God, this is so good. That is the level I'm looking for. It's not that you don't know how to do it. Everything is given to you. It's whether you want to do it right, you want to do it good, or you just want to do it for the sake of, I submit. So because I submit, you must give me full marks. I don't do that. Okay? How they say in French, if you give me crap, I'll give you crap back. So if you give me crap work, you get crappy marks. So please don't do that. Okay? I have high expectations for you. Right. So that is the introduction. So please work smart and good luck. Right. Questions? No questions? Okay.
I have question, Doctor.
No question. All right. If you don't have any questions, I am going to go through the project with you. So this is the project. The project, you should have seen it already because I put it in e-learning already. So the project here is actually a continuation from what you did in NetCom. Okay, in network communication, you planned, you find the devices, you put the cablings in, and then put some groups and subnettings in there. Okay, here we are going to apply things. So we are going to use packet tracer for a lot of things for the project. So your task will include you building a small network with different components, namely creating a topology of the building in packet tracer, calculating and applying network IP addressing, implementing routing protocols, both static and dynamic, and applying VLAN and DHCP. Applying here means you are going to configure VLAN and configure DHCP, and then also reporting your work. So let's look at task 1. Task 1 is due next week, week 2. Okay. Now all your tasks are due on the Thursday of the week before 4 p.m. Previously, I thought, why not give them until 10 p.m.? But the problem is that students do not understand that lecturers don't work at night for them. They message me. Sometimes I'm already asleep and then messages keep coming in. So no, 4 p.m. So another thing to remember, please don't message me after 9 p.m. Before 9 p.m., I might answer, I might not, but during working hours, I will answer as fast as I can. But after 9 p.m., I don't care. Even if you have an emergency, I'm not going to read it because usually after 9, I am already in bed. Okay? So task 1 is to create your own team and choose people you can contribute well with, work together with. And this is the excerpt with a little amendment from your previous network communication project. Okay? So the amendment is, as you will build a 2-story building, you did that already. This new building will house 4 labs, yes, 2 video conferencing rooms, and virtual project meetings. My apologies. So this video conference room will have 2 workstations each. The labs are divided into 1 general purpose lab, which will have 31 workstations. 1 computer security lab would have 25 workstations. 1 network lab, which will have 32 workstations, and 1 IoT lab with 25 workstations. Okay, so these are the changes from network communication. Before, everything has 30, right? So it's changed here. So your group should have 4 people. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Please know how to count. Do not message me. Can I have 3? Can I have 4? Please don't do it. Okay? There are 24 students in this class. 4 is a nice group. So come up with a group name. Group name is how I will call your group. If I want to comment or whatever, I'll use the group name. Okay? And the group name is how I would assign you guys in e-learning. Now, one thing to remember, the project group is the same group for the lab challenge. in ComNet Lab. Same people. Okay? So pick your teams, pick them good. Your group project and your lab project are the same members, are the same people. So go through your network communication project design and choose one. You might be in different sections before, in different groups before, and you have your own designs. So maybe you can choose one of the best from there. Okay. If you did not take network communication because you got credit transfer, then of course you are going to choose from one of your friends. If you are all, in that group, 4 of you, all of you have credit transfer, you can ask from your friends if they could give you their project from Netcom before for you to use here. Okay. And for those of you who didn't take Netcom because you got credit transfer, please ask your friends in class. How did it go? What are the expectations? Because your friend can help you out. So what are the deliverables? Deliverables are the things you have to submit. Okay, report. You have to submit a report here, group name and members. The floor plan chosen. You don't have to give me all the tasks, just the floor plan that you have chosen with everything clearly labeled and easily seen. Okay, and then meeting minutes for this portion. Every task must have meeting minutes. Okay, must have meeting minutes. The report must follow good report writing practices. If I see someone give me one piece of paper with the group name and members on top and then the design for floor 1 and floor 2, I am going to give you 0 marks. Every report submitted must have a front page. Okay? And if you're not sure how to write a good report, the example is given at the back on how to write the final report. Take your cue from there. Reports, when you need to have references, you have to write good references and citations. Okay. So this is your first task. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Do you have any questions regarding this?
No.
Okay. Yes, somebody raised their hand. Yes, is one.
Yang floor plan tu kiranya can I speak in Malay?
Can. But speak
Okay.
louder, please. Thank you.
Okay. Kan sen lepas kan ada yang daripada grup lain kan. Lepas tu ada floor plan yang berbeza. Jadi boleh ke walaupun kita orang grup lain tapi ambil floor plan tahun lepas?
So, memang kena ambil floor plan. Memang kena ambil floor plan tahun lepas.
I mean macam walaupun grup kita orang dah lain. Contoh
Tak kisah. Let's say you 4 orang daripada 4 grup berbeza and you ada 4 floor plan berbeza kan? Choose one that you will use this semester. Itu yang you akan pakai.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to translate that. If there are 4 of you and all of you have different floor plans from your network communication class, pick one of the 4 that you will use for this project. Okay? Okay. Anything else? Questions? No? All right. So then we have task 2. Now task 2, what you're going to do is that you're going to take your floor plan from task 1 and then you are going to put it in Packet Tracer. So understandably, because you have 25 workstation, 31 workstation, you cannot fit everything into Packet Tracer. It will be very messy. So what you're going to do is that you are going to have only 4 hosts per lab in Packet Tracer. Although your calculation for IP subnetting should follow 31 workstations and whatnot, but for the Packet Tracer, we just only have to have 4 hosts per lab. So there will be 4 labs, 4 hosts each, the video conferencing room, 2 hosts in them. Okay, and the routers and the switches and whatnot. So task 2 is basically just that. You are going to take that and then put it into Packet Tracer. So the deliverables here is the chosen project plan in Packet Tracer, and then of course you have a meeting minutes as well. Okay, simple. Submit Packet Tracer file to e-learning. Now please submit a file I can open. Okay, whether it is PDF, whether it is a PKT file, please submit something I can open. One thing I've noticed with students is that especially when they submit PDF, I cannot open the PDF. Okay, then I have to go online, find an app online to open it. If I cannot open it there as well, I have to contact the student and say, can you submit it again? That takes a long time. Okay, so check your work that can be open. Do not set restrictive editing. Don't set that, because you don't want anybody to edit your work. Sometimes what I do is I edit on it. Okay, so there you go. Now, task 3 is addressing. Oh, this is easy. You have done that before. I'll give you an IP network address, and then you would do subnetting as accordingly. Okay, so deliverables here is a report showing complete and detailed workings of your subnetting and IP assignations to each host and device in the topology as required. Okay. Note, if you use any form of subnet calculators, marks will be deducted. Students forget that I have been teaching as long as you have been alive. I can tell when you use subnet calculators. Now, please do it on hand first, and then check with subnet calculators. I'm okay with it. Okay. But of course, some of you would say, how can she know? She wouldn't know. Up to you. Be ethical or not. Up to you. So meetings minutes, submit a PDF report to e-learning. Now, I have to give you a tip in how I give marks. If your report is messy, if your writing has a lot of grammar mistakes and spelling mistakes, making me read things 2-3 times to understand what you're writing, I will minus marks, because you're taking a lot more time than I need to focus on your work. Okay? Good report writing practices include you checking your grammar and your spelling. You're using Word, right? Word has grammar checker, spell checker. Use it. Use Malaysian English. Why use Malaysian English? Because if you use US English, the spelling is different. Malaysian English color is CLOUR. American English is COLO. Different. Okay. Task 4 is implementing routing protocols. In this task, you'll be implementing routing protocols, both static routing and dynamic routing, as appropriate. The goal here that routing is enabled and you can successfully ping from host in one subnet to a host in another subnet. Okay. Of course, you can be able to ping from the host within the same subnet. The deliverables here are the report detailing where you configured the static and dynamic route. And this is shown in 2 ways. One, markings on the topology. You would have your topology, right, in the packet tracer. So you're going to mark and say, here I use dynamic routing. Here we use static routing. How you're going to do that is up to you, but highlight the route. With the content of the routing table from all the routers in the topology must be in your report, and add meeting minutes, of course. And you also have to submit the PKT file of the topology. Here, this reasoning is so that I can check that the ping actually works. Okay, can check that the ping actually works, and the configuration is correct. So this is due on week 8. So you have to submit PDF and PKT file on e-learning. Then task 5 will be implementing VLANs. Okay, so here you would have an extra bit where you have to add 2 rooms for staff on each floor. Okay, and then you have to, these rooms will belong to their own subnet. So you would have them in the same VLAN, 2 rooms on the top floor, 2 rooms on the second floor, bottom floor, and these will be in the same VLANs. Now you are thinking, how do I do that? Don't worry. By the time you come here, we will be learning about VLAN and you will know how to do it. Okay, so make sure there is end-to-end connectivity here. End-to-end connectivity means the host on one subnet or one VLAN can ping hosts from other subnets and other VLANs. Okay, so a report detailing VLAN configuration and addressing. Okay, also shown VLAN table on the router and switches, and also the PKT file for the topology and the configuration. Lastly, it is implementing, task 6 is implementing DHCP. Okay, if you remember DHCP from network communication, is when a host comes into the network and they get an IP address given to them by the DHCP server. So you are going to be able to, you are going to implement that in your topology in packet tracer. Okay, now having said all this, think about this. If I am an unproductive member, my team is going to kick me out. And I have to do all of these things on my own. So be a productive member. Okay? So this is the HCP. And then finally, we have documentation and reflection. Okay. Documentation, there is 7A and 7B. 7A is a group report detailing your work, reflection, yada, yada, yada. And 7B is a personal report. Now, group report here, I gave you the group report outline. One thing that surprised me in network communication is how some teams didn't even follow this. They did however they want to do, which is really, really sad because they lose marks. Okay, while it has been given here how best to do things, how to do the references is given to you, but yet you do it wrong. I do not understand that. Are you? It's sort of like the students were trying to self-sabotage themselves. Okay, if you submit to me things that I cannot give you marks on, I cannot do magic and suddenly make it better. You have to do that. Okay, so everything is there. Individual report is individual and unique. I find this in some of the group from network communication. What they did was they had a template. They just changed the name of the people. Do that, please do that. I will divide this into 4 people. I will divide it into 4. 5 marks divided into 4. If you get 5 marks, that is. Let's say you get 4 marks, so everybody will get 1. Fair and just. Okay. So it does not need, it will not be submitted together with a group project. Group project is different submission. Individual project, individual report is different submission. So be honest here. Okay, this is where your integrity comes in. Okay, now I'm just going to share this with you as a moment of learning. There are some students who were the unproductive members of the group. When asked what is their contribution, they say, I did this, I did that, I did this and that and that. And then the other members in their personal report say, he didn't do any of those. So it's kind of funny because I will read them one after the other for all the groups and I'll see how patterns are changing. Okay, and I will give marks accordingly. So final thoughts, these are some advice for you to read on. Okay, now plagiarism is important. Some people, because they want to show that, oh, I am doing such a great job, so they just copy from web pages or whatever and then paste it inside their report. And I'm reading it, I say something is wrong here, and I put it in Turnitin and I see that it is plagiarized. I will minus mark. In fact, if it's more than a certain percentage, I'll just give you 0. I don't want to, I don't want to attend to liars. Plagiarism is cheaters and liars. So if you plagiarize, you get 0. In fact, learn not to do that, because once you plagiarize, you are comfortable with plagiarizing. Once you do it in PSM, final year project, you are going to get really bad marks. In fact, you're going to be failed. Student before, he took his research output from a research book, and then we found out he failed that. And not only failed that, because everybody knows he did that. Because at the time, the the presentation was done openly, face to face. There are people in that setting, and we found out that he was plagiarizing. Okay, please don't be that person. Okay, don't plagiarize. IB addressing scheme, I will give you the scheme for your group. This is only example. Okay, so and you have the rubrics. You know how to look at the rubrics. There you go. Any questions regarding the project? Hello.
I think so far so good.
Okay, ready then. I think that is basically it. I've done that and done that. Okay. So now what I want to do is I want you guys, when I call your name, I want you to switch on your camera so that I can see your face. Okay? Why? Because I want to see if I get your name correct to the attendance. Right. So first of all, Mr. Afaf Azman. Okay, you can if you want to switch on your camera now, it's okay. I'll call you accordingly by the name. Afaf Azman, and then Anas Ihab, Azlina. Afaf Azman, camera please. Oh, suddenly everybody is going to like, betulkan your tudung, comb your hair. Okay, okay. I'll give you a minute to do that. So, Afaf Azman. Ada? Tak ada. If you are already ready, you can tell me your name. We can just go from there. Who wants to start first? I'll list it up here. Siapa ni? Afaf Azman. Afaf is a lady. Oh my god. Sorry. I was looking for a guy. I didn't see the binti there. All right, Afaf. Please tell me your name and where you are from, please. Thank you very much.
I'm Afa binti Azman. You can call me Afa. I'm from Batu Pahat, Johor.
Okay. Are you at home or in UTM?
Yes, I'm at home.
Okay. Thank you, Afaf. Next, Anas.
Just give me a minute.
To switch on your camera so that I can see your face.
Just give me a minute. You
After
can pass
Anas
to
is
another one and
Azlina.
we'll come back.
Come again? Were you saying something, Anas? Because it wasn't clear.
Yeah, I just said, can you give me a minute? Can you go to
Yes,
another
sure.
one and come back?
No problem. Azlina, how about Azlina? Azlina. Okay, Azlina ada. Azlina, where are you from?
My
Where are
name
you
is Azrina binti Herman. I am
Uh-huh.
from Tau Sabah.
Oh, di Sabah ba?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Couldn't help myself. Are you in Sabah then?
Yes.
Okay then. Thank you, Azlina.
Okay,
Ilhamul,
doctor.
Ilhamuhil. Bukan Ilham, Ilamuhil.
Can you see me, doctor?
No, I can't.
hear me?
Where are you? Oh, situ. Okay, can see. Where are you from? Where are you at? What do I call you really?
Ilam, doctor. Ilam.
Ilam. Okay,
Yeah.
Ilam. Where are you at?
So I'm from Selangor, doctor. I'm currently at my house.
Okay, Ilam. Thank you, Ilam. Next, Kabila Shwaran.
Hello,
Nice
can you see
hair,
me?
dude. Right. Where are you at?
I'm from Kuala Johor, doctor.
You are at home?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Kabilash, with the hair. Kalaivani.
Hello, doctor.
Kalaivani. Okay. Where are you from?
I'm from Gemas Negeri Sembilan.
Where are you at?
Home.
Okay. Thank you. Anas, you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Where are you at?
I'm at Istanbul, Turkey, but I'm from Egypt originally.
But you are here in Malaysia?
No, in Istanbul, in Turkey.
Alrighty then. Can I ask you how long, what's the time difference between Malaysia and where you are?
It's 5 hours,
Earlier.
so it's very hard. Yeah,
So ours is 12 here. You are about 5 p.m.
it's 7 right now.
7? Oh yeah, 7,
Yeah.
17 p.m. or a.m.? p.m.
No, AM at the morning.
Righty
So,
then. Good morning. Okay. All right, thank you, Anas.
thank
Lai
you.
Ling Shun.
Yes, doctor.
Video Ling Shun.
Can you see me?
Yes, I can. So where are you at?
At home, Johor Bahru.
Okay, so you're at home and you're from Johor Bahru. Thank
Yeah.
you, Ling Shun. And then Muhammad Abdul Azim, Miss Dan.
Hi, doctor.
Hello. Where are you?
Hello. Selangor, Puncak
At home?
Alam. Yes, at home.
Okay, good. Thank you. I wanted to know if anybody was at UTM and where you are, so we can have sort of like, you know, some understanding of what time is you are in. Okay, Izwan Sazmin, Muhammad Izwan Sazmin.
Hello, sekejap doktor, saya punya kamera.
Okay, tak apa. You buat dulu Sementara tu Syauqi, Mukrisha. Siapa yang nak jump? Anybody who wants to jump earlier can as well. Ni siapa ni? Syauqi. Syauqi. Kat mana Syauqi? Kau dekat kafe ke siap pakai mask bagai ni I can't hear you. You're mute.
Currently
Ah.
I'm quarantine.
Syauqi kat mana tu?
Rumah.
Rumah tu kat mana tu?
Rumah kat Terengganu.
Okay. Kat Terengganu, kat Kemang. Alright, thank you. Next, siapa nak? Next. Izwan Sedida. Mukrisha. Izwan. Izwan kat mana?
Saya dekat Selangor.
Kat rumah?
Kat rumah.
Alright, thank you Izwan. Mukrisha?
Wait, doktor.
Ada. Mukrisha kat mana?
Dekat rumah. Batu Cave Selangor.
Selangor juga? Okay, thank you. Fadli? Nur Fadli
Hai
Ahmad.
doktor, saya
Hello.
Nur Fadli bin Ahmad dari
Okay.
tempat Kelantan.
Okay, kat rumah Lenin
Kat rumah.
Alright. Thank you Fadli. Nur Amira Hanina.
Saya doktor.
Allah, dekat tepi pula. Nak muka sikit. Mana tak keluar? Kamera tak on lah Amira.
Okey dah.
Okay. Amira kat mana?
Saya dari Batu Pahat Johor, sekarang kat rumah.
Okay. Thank you. Nurliana.
Hello.
Hello. Di mana kau jiwa?
Sekarang
kat mana?
kat UTM.
Kat UTM. Sayang berbenar kat buat UTM ni Okay. Asal mana?
Asal Ipoh.
Okay. So memang nak duduk dalam je lah ni? Everything okay duduk dalam ni? Senang nak masuk keluar?
Setakat ni okey lah.
Alright. If you have a problem, let me know.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you Liana. Sofia?
Welcome.
Nurin Sofia.
Hello doktor.
Hello. Okay. Nurin dekat mana?
Dekat rumah, Seremban Negeri Sembilan.
Oh, kat mana tu kat Seremban tu?
Seremban 2.
Oh, okay. Kakak saya kat Taman Tuanku Jaafar sana.
Oh, TTJ Senawang.
Okay. Thank you, Sofia.
Okay.
You know what's funny? Dia ada kucing. Nama kucing dia Sofia. Kakak saya yang dekat Tuanku Jaafar tu. Astagfirullah.
Tapi saya tak suka kucing.
Samalah dengan saya. That's why I don't go to her house. She has 2 cats. Oh my God, no. Okay. Thank you, Sofia. Numazli. Tak ada orang? Ada. Okay. Numazli kat mana tu?
Kat Muar Johor.
Suara tak dengar.
Muar
Kat
Johor.
Muar, Johor.
Muar.
Okay, thank you. Pavun Raj.
Hello, doctor. Can you see me?
Hello. Panggil apa?
Can you see me?
Oh yes, I can see you. Sorry.
Okay. My name is Pawan Raj. I'm from Kluang, Johor. Madam can call me Raj.
Where in Kluang?
Kluang.
No, where in Kluang?
Oh, where in Kluang? Taman Gunung Lambak.
Oh, seriously? Kluang is a
Yes.
town. That's why I know.
Oh. Okay.
Did you go?
Okay.
Where did you go to school?
Sekolah Tinggi Kluang.
Do you know Cikgu Zahra? Who teaches
Cikgu
advanced?
Zahra, not really.
If you took her, that's my sister. She's a teacher there.
Oh.
Ask your
I see.
friends. She's scary like me. Lebih kurang lah. Okay, thank you,
What?
Raj. Yeah?
Okay, thank you, doctor.
Okay, Shar Teswari. Hello. Suara tak ada. Switch on, unmute. You're still muted. Can you unmute yourself? It's loading. What is loading?
Just now I was
Okay,
here.
all right.
I'm from Johor Bahru, Johor, doctor. I'm currently at home.
So you're at home right now?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. For that 2 minutes, you have to go through all this trouble, but thank you. Shugen, the Shugen Trend.
Hi, doctor.
Hello.
My name is Shugendran. Doctor can call me Shugen. I'm from Shalam, Selangor. Currently at campus UTM.
In campus UTM?
Yeah.
Satu lagi sayang UTM ni. Bagus, bagus. Very good. All right. Thank you, Shugen.
Thank you, doctor.
Fatnin, Siti Fatnin.
Hello, doktor.
Ya, doktor. Buka lah video Fatnin weh. Okay. Cakap kuat sikit.
Nama saya Siti Fatin Maisara binti Mansur. Saya ada dekat rumah dekat Melaka.
Okay. Melaka kat mana?
Dekat Alor Gajah.
Alright. Okay, thank you. Hajar, Siti Hajar.
My name is Siti Hajar binti Mu'ta. I'm at home at Pulau Indah, Selangor.
Pulau Indah? Saya duduk di Pulau Indah, Johor Bahru.
Pulau kan? Pulau.
Pulau Indah. Okay. Macam pelik lah pula nama taman sama. Okay, thank you Hajar ya. Ming Hui, Tan Ming Hui. Ming Hui, Jia Yi, Pei San.
So maybe I should start first.
Okay, you can start.
Good afternoon, doctor. I'm Tejai. So currently I'm at campus also.
Oh, okay. Where are you from originally?
Batu Pahat, Johor.
I see. Okay. Thank you,
Thank
Jia Yi.
you.
Ming Hui.
Hi, doctor. I am Tan Ming Hui, and now I am at home. I am from Johor.
Johor Bahru lah.
Johor Gemas.
Kempas.
Gemas Baru.
Okay, already then. Thank you, Ming Hui. Pei San, last but not least.
Hello, doctor. My name is Wong Pei San. You can call me Venus. I'm from Masai, Johor Bahru.
Oh, okay. Where in Masai? Where in Masai? What taman?
Where in Masai? Kota Putri. Taman Kota Putri.
Okay. The thing is that I have a very big family and my family is all over the place. So, okay. Thank you very much. I have everybody now. So, okie dokie. I think I'm going to end the class here. If you don't have any other questions,